Thank you for joining our info session. This is YMUNT XI. What is YMUNT? And we'll be going into what makes YMUNT special and what is MUN in general.
So, hi everyone. My name is Lee-Ann. I'm a junior at Yale and currently the Secretary-General of YMUNT XI. This is my third year with YMUNT, so I'm really excited to be coming back again. I'm majoring in global affairs and statistics and data science.
Hi, my name is Sophia. I'm the Director General of Committees, which means I lead the committees team. And I'm a third year at Yale also, and I study comparative literature and film. This is my second year of YMUNT.
Hi, I'm Wei. I'm currently serving as the USG of committees for this year's YMNT. This is my second time with the conference, and I'm majoring in computer science and economics at Yale. What is Model United Nations? Model United Nations is essentially an activity that allows you to simulate the real United Nations, where you role play as country representatives from different countries and tackle real world issues. It really is an activity that allows you to experience many, many things, including debating global challenges and the most pressing issues of today, collaborating with other people to work on solutions to these problems, and also building a lot of key skills such as public speaking, negotiation, teamwork, and critical thinking. Why do Model United Nations? The reason people do MUN really differs across the board, and people have very different reasons for why they want to do YMUN and also why they end up sticking to this activity. For me, I joined Model United Nations in middle school because I wanted an activity that would allow me to really investigate global issues and gain awareness and understanding of these problems through talking to people from other countries and other backgrounds. And Model United Nations as activity really allows you to develop critical skills, including public speaking, debate, research, and problem solving, and also raising your awareness about issues across the world. It also allows you to build up your leadership abilities and also build confidence as a communicator and as a leader. And for a lot of people, Model United Nations is simply an activity that allows them to travel to new countries or different places and meet people from a lot of different backgrounds. And for me personally as well, I've met a lot of people through MUN that I'm still in touch with today, where we get to discuss topics and really share our understandings and perspectives on global issues.
Yeah, so kind of building on that, why Yale Model UN Taiwan? So first of all, there are many international iterations of YMUN, which originally started in New Haven 50 years ago. But what makes Taiwan specific is that we usually welcome a lot of delegates that are that have either never participated in MUN conference or this is their own first or second time. So we make sure to have a beginner-friendly environment. All of our directors are trained to expect that sometimes delegates might be confused with some things that others might find normal, more experienced delegates might already expect, and how to deal with first-time delegates and help them build up confidence and really help make the best of their MUN experience. We also have unique committees. So something that we really focused on this year is choosing topics that are both accessible to delegates and would generate a good debate. Every single one of our topics has at least 2 or 3 different positions that delegates can take and learn from in a very specific perspective. So we have dynamic global issues, and we might even include a Chinese language committee depending on interests. So we really want there to be something for everyone and for everyone to find their own way of contributing to YMUNT and taking something out of YMUNT. Obviously, as we're a YMUN, we are led entirely by a Yale undergraduate student secretariat. Every single committee is led by a Yale student, and they not only help each delegate kind of grow into their role, giving them advice and feedback as the conference goes along, and even in the pre-conference stage. A lot of delegates often come up to us and ask us about our time at Yale or ask us for advice on where to apply to college or what our college experience is like, what we love about Yale. And those are things that we obviously will form that connection on a more personal way with the delegates too. And as we prepare for this conference, we're preparing for YMUNT for almost half a year, and we make sure that not only are our committees and our topics well chosen, we really want to give delegates the best way to prepare for these topics, make sure that our chairs are in peak condition to be able to pay the most attention and really lead the debate in the smoothest way possible. And we're also preparing lots of other things at the conference outside of the committees that Lee-Ann will get into later. So for our committees overview, just to show you what kind of topics you can expect, I'm honestly very excited with the topics that we've chosen for the team this year and that the delegates will get to delve into. This year we have 4 beginner-friendly committees for delegates that have either never attended MUN conference or only attended 1 or 2. And then we have classic type committees, which are for delegates that have attended 2 or more. And then finally, we have a crisis committee led by Wei, which will engage in a much more rapid, much more engaging style of debate, and he'll go into that later. So for our first committee, this is a committee on the rights of persons with disabilities. It's a beginner-friendly committee led by Alicia, who is particularly passionate about this cause. And in this committee, delegates will be talking about employment quotas across different countries and kind of learning about what the specific country has to say in terms of employment quotas. And this is a committee that I'm honestly very excited for because it is not usually seen as at MUN conferences. Typically, this committee is for specific, not necessarily country representatives of the UN, but for specialists. But we've adapted it to MUN form so that we can kind of take on this different topic, and delegates can also learn about and debate the rights of persons with disabilities. Next, we have UNESCO that will be led by Elspeth. This committee is going to be going into mainly media censorship. Oh, and I should also add that all of our committees have 2 topics, but instead of having the delegates choose which topic to debate first, we will be ensuring that topics will be debated topic 1 and topic 2 so that delegates can have a better expectation of how they should focus and prepare for the conference. So we expect that most of the first topic will take up most of the conference, and delegates will be able to focus more on that topic, which in this case would be media censorship for journalists. And next, DISEC, Disarmament and International Security Committee, led by Thomas, is our potential Chinese language committee, and it's going to be going into non-state military organizations, the problems and I guess pros of also having them across the world, across all 5 continents, is honestly a very exciting and very global committee and extremely relevant to the world we today. And then this is the last of our beginner-friendly committees. The World Health Organization will be led by Jacob. And this the first topic that this will be going into is going to be called care drain, which is basically brain drain for healthcare workers, which is extremely complex issue, but very common across so many developing countries. And I'm really excited to see how the debate will go on. And the second topic will also be going into another issue that's very worldwide, maternal mortality. And then this is going to be, so after the 4 beginner-friendly committees that we've covered, ESCAP, Economic and Social Commission for the Asia and the Pacific, is our first regional body. So it's still a UN body, but it'll be focused specifically on Asia and the Pacific, and it'll be dealing with the topic of chaebol. So the first topic is basically about social inequality and how that's had a negative impact on society, not only in Korea, but also other East Asian countries that have very similar issues. And then the second topic is going to be talking about shadow education systems, how cram schools are kind of either supporting or causing more harm to inequality in education and the access for education in the Asia and the Pacific. And also all of the directors have been super pumped about all the topics, and they've chosen it with a lot of care. We made sure that all the directors really like what they're talking about, and yeah, so we'll take it away with the rest of the committees.
Yeah, so this is a really exciting committee topic, which tackles topics like tackling the bureaucracy of the UN and improving the global image of the UN. So these aren't really particular committees in the UN, but they really tackle just really cool topics that we all think about when we're doing MUN as well. The World Bank, chaired by Nick, talks about really important issues for the region, including the Belt and Road Initiative, as well as financial inclusion and microloans, which are more economically focused topics that allows you to dive into more technical aspects of what makes the World Bank work and what makes the global economy tick. And next, for Wizengamot, this is a really fun topic, which involves Harry Potter, the world of Harry Potter, and specifically tackles two topics which are sort of related to um, issues that we face in the real world, such as the rights of magical creatures, which are essentially animal rights, and also ownership and exploitation of magical resources, which tackle things like mining and resource extraction in the current day. So this is a specialized committee, so it's run in a more different way where you have less focus on resolutions, which are really deeply formulated um, um, solutions to problems, but more so on shorter directives, which are smaller in blocks and more dynamic and fast-paced. Finally, you have the Cabinet of Taiwan. This year we'll be tackling issues regarding the Taiwan's fight for global standing, which is really just about how Taiwan can maintain its diplomatic relations with other countries in this very tumultuous time. It's run as a crisis, which means that you'll be not writing resolutions, but rather submitting directives as updates happen. So this topic will evolve very rapidly over the course of the conference, and you'll have to deal with it by submitting short resolutions to different parts of the problem and also submitting notes to the back room, which allows you to take actions as your own representative to influence the course of the debate.
So specifically at YMUNT, we use something called UNA USA procedure, which is slightly more focused on slightly more focused on the debate rather than spending hours and hours on the resolution writing, which is something times happens in other conferences that use diamond procedure. And Wei is going to go a little bit into what exactly we mean by UNA USA.
Yeah, so me personally, when I did Model UN in East Asia as well, we use diamond procedure, but in UNA USA, it's a little different, which I think has its pros and its cons. For one, it allows you to go into much more substantive detail about the academic side of topics, but just going quickly over what going quickly oh yeah, sorry. Going quickly over what the committee and debate will look like, you have the standard things at the start, including opening speeches. After that, you will generally go into a series of moderated and unmoderated caucuses. So moderated caucuses are essentially like your general speakers list speeches, except for the fact that they are very tailored to a specific topic. This means that you can guide committee in the sense that you can decide the topic that's being discussed to make sure that people are on the same page and talking about the same thing. So these speeches are typically about a minute to a minute 30, focused on a particular topic, and you'll have about 10 speakers, 5 to 10 speakers before moving on to the next topic. After you go through a few rounds of moderated caucuses on various topics, just to set the scene, you'll start to have unmoderated caucuses, which are similar to what you get in Taiwan, where you essentially have 15 to 20 minutes time outside of formal debate, where you form blocks and talk about solutions to these topics while you write your resolutions. So before you actually submit a resolution, you have something called working papers, which are essentially early form resolutions, which have less clauses and are less developed, where you get the opportunity to essentially present them and get the committee's feedback before you move into the actual resolution itself. And the resolution is where you actually present your final solution before voting procedure. So a few differences about how resolutions are presented in UNA USA procedure as well. The first thing is that you have two things called the Q&A as well as the presentation sections. So during the presentation section, the submitters of resolutions will go up to the stage and present their ideas. So it's similar to what you would do in your diamond procedure. After that, instead of taking POIs, you have about 6 minutes of Q&A where delegates will have the opportunity to ask the submitters of this resolution or working paper questions about the resolution. And then the submitters will have time to answer these questions to public. And then after that, you essentially move into voting procedure and move on to the next topic. But it's just important to note that the bulk of committee time will be spent alternating between moderated and unmoderated caucuses, and the topic of moderated caucuses will evolve as time goes. So for instance, it might start with a very broad discussion about the topic, but later move into very specific discussions about particular solutions to the topic.
Yeah, and this year we want to make YMUNT a lot more accessible to people who haven't done MUN before or maybe don't have the financial ability to usually attend MUN conferences. So this year we're offering a 15% discount on delegate fees for delegations that have never attended YMUNT before. For delegations that haven't attended since COVID-19, so before YMT 7, then we have a 15% discount as well for delegate fees. And then for returning delegations, if you have attended in the past 4 years before, we have an ambassador program where you can refer new delegates. And in exchange, by the number of delegates you refer, you can get new merch, discounted fees as well, certificates, and more. And then also we have a very comprehensive financial aid program. So once you register on the registration platform, there's a tab called financial aid, and you can go there and apply. You can apply for fee waivers as well as general financial aid for such as like hotels and food, but not for international flights. Unfortunately, we can't cover those. But for more info, you should definitely check out our website for what the application looks like, what the discounts, who's eligible, and etc. So yeah. And then I can take this side. So we have our like key events that we have every year. So we have an opening ceremony where our keynote speaker is Enoch Wu. He's American, came back to Taiwan when he was 11, went to Yale, actually was a Yale alum, and is now a legislative member. We'll also have a performance group yet to be decided. Last year, it was a Yale a cappella group who came to perform at our opening ceremony. We also have a community fair on the night of the first day where there's 12 nonprofit and student organizations who come around, and students can walk around their booths. There's usually a lot of games, a lot of fun activities, a lot of free merchandise. So it's a really fun event. And if you're part of a student group that wants to attend, you're more than welcome to attend. We'll have a form on our Instagram as well as on our emails as well. And then the night of the second day, we have a delegate social, basically just like in this room at the bottom right. And then there's like karaoke, music, a photo booth, etc. And then right before our closing ceremony, we have a Life at Yale panel where our Yale International students will sit on a panel, and then you guys can ask any questions you have.
1 second. Okay, this Zoom is frozen, but the next slide is going to be talking about the slightly different part of the conference, or rather, I think this is the last slide. But essentially, what we wanted to show you guys is that the way that we choose our committees is that we want to make sure that the committees are both accessible to students and they're going to have a good time at the conference, regardless of why they choose to go to MUN. We really want students to like leave the conference with a smile on their faces, and it's not just about winning awards. We want obviously to teach them and we want to share what we're passionate about to them. But we've chosen our team very carefully. We're all very people which really are looking forward to meeting all of the students at YMUNT and talking with advisors, and really participating in like the culture exchange, which YMUNT has done for over a decade. Wei and Lee-Ann, do you guys want to add anything else?
Yeah, so as someone who has competed across East Asia as a high school delegate and also competed in college with the Model UN team at Yale, I do really think that YMNT is a very special conference in the sense that it really has a place for everyone, and the amount of support you get throughout the conference is incredible. And that's not just because of the delegates and the secretariat from Yale who come, but it's also about the local ADs that we have, as well as the other delegates who are present at the conference, because everyone is just incredibly supportive at the conference itself. There's a lot of mutual support, a lot of understanding that it is the first conference for several people. So you have people being supportive of each other and understanding that it's a learning process for a lot of people. And you also have more advanced committees where people are really working hard and trying to find really innovative and special solutions to the problems that we're tackling in committee. So it really has a space for everyone and a great place to start, or also to further your MUN experience.
Oh, that's the end of our presentation. If anybody has any questions, we'd be very happy to answer them. Otherwise, you can also feel free to email us. All of our emails are up on our website, and learn more about all of these things through there as well.
Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to unmute or also type in the chat.
Uh, so I have a question about the information. So when will the information packet be released, including the committees?
So you can find our committees on the website. So our registration guide just went over the general what is MUN, or not what is MUN, what is YMUNT and how to register, but you can see, I can find like the link in our chat, but our committees are up on the website. But topic guides for like the specific to each committee will be published in January.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, there's a question in the chat. Do you guys have any advice on how to prepare for the conference? I'll begin by answering. I think there are a lot of opportunities to prepare before the conference. If you go to our website under the committees tab, we have resources such as an example position paper, an example resolution, and we even have our online training program that you can sign up for and complete for free, which will have not only many sections talking about like what to wear, what is procedure, what can I expect from this specific type of committee, but you'll also get to complete assignments if you wish, and then me and Wei as a committees team will be grading them and giving you advice on that, like how do I do research for my position paper, how do I write a position paper. All those things are covered within our pre-conference training and specifically in our online training program on Thinkific. And you can also just directly reach out to your director. They all have their emails up, and they will all be hosting office hours before the conference where you can go and ask them questions about, how do I approach this problem, this topic from the position of my country. Then there's another question. Can an individual go on their own, or is there a way to join the group? Wei, do you want to take this question? Or Lee-Ann?
I can take that one. So you can join as an individual. You don't have to be a part of a group. You just have to, if you're a minor under 18, you just have to make sure that you have like a parent or a teacher or a sibling, some sort of like older person who can come on the first day and check you in and just be there in case there's an emergency. But you can definitely go on your own. You don't have to have like a school or like a teacher advisor.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming to our in-person session. If there are no more questions, we look forward to seeing you at the conference.